Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third episode of the A-270 podcast. Let's get right into it. Today, I thought I would kind of go over how to play or recreate, make a cover of, reproduce, not necessarily reproduce, but just make your own version of a specific song that you would like to, work on or be able to play. A lot of people, the first thing that comes to mind is YouTube. And while YouTube is actually a really great resource, and I oftentimes learn a lot of the songs, I work on piano most of the time, and I use YouTube to learn really most of my songs. But when there's songs that I really just want to know the chords to so I can play along or something like that, there are many resources out there that are much better than YouTube. So that's what we are going to discuss today, how to play songs that you want to play and with the resources that are available to you. So, let's get started. So I can go to Google right now and just search up popular songs, and I get a list of a bunch of really popular songs. Let's just go with the top. Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. That's a popular song. I suppose you know it. If not, it's not necessary to know the song for this episode of the podcast. But I take Blinding Lights by The Weeknd and go to Google again and just search Blinding Lights chords, and I'll get quite a few websites and or videos popping up. Now, I'd say that the most prestigious, well-known, it will pop up first most likely, website is ultimateguitar.com, or as it says for the chords, tabs.ultimate/guitar.com. So tabs.ultimateguitar.com pretty much. And this website, it's kind of interesting the way, so it says ultimateguitar.com, but they also have ukulele and piano features as well, I believe, and I play on piano mostly. I can play very few guitar chords. I can play a few ukulele chords, but for me it's really piano when I'm doing stuff like this. So I usually just select the piano setting. However, it really does not matter which setting, except if you want to see the fingering and what notes you hit for the chord, because guess what, guitar and piano chords are compatible, meaning a C chord in guitar is the same as a C chord in piano, G chord is the same, all of it's the same. So that's really helpful. So if you have guitar chords, they're the exact same thing. So I can just go to ultimateguitar.com, select Blinding Lights chords. And sometimes, if it's a pro chord site, that these are often user made. These aren't professional chords. They're correct most of the time, but they're actually not. They're made by users. So there is room for error. But if I just want to look at the Blinding Lights chords, I click on the first one. If it's not a pro. The pro you have to pay for. Those are the actual official versions, but the ones that users make are usually just as good. I usually go with the first version or the one with the most ratings. And here for the version 1 of Blinding Lights, it has 2,000 reviews and 5 stars. So all of this looks great, and so that actually gives you tablature. If you want to learn the riffs, sometimes it'll give you tablature that you can use to, learn your song. So here it has tablature showing the guitar riff, but I can always change it to piano as I do have it. So I can take a look here and see that the chords used are F minor, C minor, D sharp, and A sharp. So then it shows you the lyrics and where those chords apply, and it's really really well displayed, and I use that website a lot. If you are looking at a song that is maybe not as popular, or isn't necessarily a song that's like a big hit, or it's a big hit that's not actually like a song, like people like a meme song or something that's like popular but not a song that wouldn't be on a website like Ultimate Guitar, you can use an interesting website called chordify.net. So chordify.net. It is an interesting type of website where it works a little bit differently than most of these websites. Instead of like pulling up a page and it showing you the chords, it utilizes YouTube and kind of takes a YouTube video and like searches and compiles it and gets the chords that are used in that YouTube video. It's not always perfect because it's like a computer generated thing. I also think that like people can make their own, but it's really not, it's not very professional, I suppose, but it can get the job done if you're doing something that's kind of difficult to like you can't find on a website like Ultimate Guitar. So I would recommend that, but only if it's not on Ultimate Guitar. There are of course other websites like eChords, but I prefer Ultimate Guitar because I just like the layout, I like the way it works, and it's overall pretty easy to figure out. From there, once you've got the chords, sometimes the chords is really all you need, but sometimes you might want like something else to add to your like your repertoire when you're like doing a song. So you can have the chords, but sometimes there's like a lick or like a melody that you want to learn to go along with it. So that's kind of where YouTube can come into play. There's an interesting type of YouTube thing. It's called Synthesia. And Synthesia, Synthesia, it's like type of like piano tutorial in which it's using MIDI software where the notes kind of fall from the top of the screen to the bottom and hit a piano, kind of like a piano roll, if you know what I mean. And that's an interesting, it kind of takes a little bit to get used to, but I have learned so much from Synthesia that if I like that, it's kind of like a language. Once you learn how to like understand the rhythms and melodies using Synthesia, it's a breeze. I think the best way to find Synthesia is really just to go on YouTube, look up, like here I can just go to YouTube, search up what, because we were working on Blinding Lights, Synthesia. So then we can just, here we go. The Weeknd, Blinding Lights piano cover, Synthesia tutorial by Little Transcriber is the first thing that comes up. It has 41,000 views, so I'm guessing it's legit. So I can, here, I'll turn the mic around and blow up the speakers here. Alright, I'm gonna play it, so like you can get a feel. It's just piano, and sometimes it's like MIDI software that sounds kind of strange, but here, I'll play what this is. Please don't have an ad. Oh, we have an ad. Skip the ad, everybody. Okay, I've skipped the ad, and now we are here. I'm gonna play it. The Weeknd Blinding Lights piano cover, Synthesia tutorial by Little Transcriber. 42,161 views, so this is kind of what it sounds like. So sometimes, I mean, most of the time Synthesia is in the correct key, but sometimes, let me set the microphone down. Okay, sometimes it might not be in the correct key, and that's where you have to be careful. You just want to make sure that's in the correct key. Usually the bass notes will be like an easy way to tell. So if you know the key and the chords, you just look and see if the chords match up with the bass notes, and you'll be fine. If they match up, perfect. You got the melody that you need, or whatever else you need. Counter melody. Doesn't all of it. It's out there for you to understand and learn. Another very helpful resource, this is for if you're wanting to learn like the actual piano part. So a lot of the times, like Elton John songs, like there's that really catchy piano part that it is not melodic. It doesn't have the melody in it, or it's at least a counter melody, some sort of harmony that goes along with the melody. But it's what Elton John actually plays on the piano. I'm just using Elton John as an example, but I have used this for Elton John. It's a YouTube channel called Tutorials by Hugo. So if I just look up in YouTube Tutorials by Hugo and click on the YouTube channel, they have 522,000 subscribers. So it's really help. They're very popular. They do like some of the tutorials are like synthesia of like the melody too. But if you just look up Tutorials by Hugo, whatever your song is, piano part, you can do that. So like here, like their featured video is how to play the piano part of Dancing Queen. So you might recognize it. Here, I'll play it right now. Okay, here, I'll play it. And 3, 2, 1. That's the intro thing that plays at the beginning of all. So yeah, that's Tutorials by Hugo. Sheet music is also played at the top with the synthesia, so it's a really helpful resource for really all of that. If you're more comfortable with sheet music than synthesia, it's there too. So it's really great little resource. I mean, what did I just use? Tutorials by Hugo. I learned a part of Bohemian Rhapsody, so all of this, like, it's very easy to learn. There's just a ton of resources out there. That's really all I have for this episode of the A-270 podcast. If you learned anything, leave a like, show the support. I'm trying to grow the channel, get it out there more, and it's helpful if you can help with that process, as it's very difficult to get your work out there with YouTube and all the different things I'm doing. I'm trying to broaden the spectrum of what I'm doing, not straying away from just making music to incorporating other music ideas, which is really fun to work on. So thanks for listening. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Anonymous270 here with the third episode of the A270 podcast. Catch the fourth episode in 1 week. It will be out in 1 week. Thanks for listening. This has been Anonymous270. Keep it here with your music stuff and stay safe.